All right, all right. Wheels, what's up, Unc? What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining this first live in the history of my live. I'm going to be connecting with my sister and mentee, Ashley, who should be joining us soon. So proud of her, as I'm so proud of all of the Nate Parker Foundation alums who are all around town working and doing their thing. Feeling very, very blessed. Anyone who knows me knows I'm big on the Jackie Robinson quote, life only matters in the effect it has on others. So I feel super blessed that these young sisters and brothers from MPF are actually doing their thing now. All right, I'm going to patch her in right now. Ashley. Hey! This is how we're doing this right now.
We're doing it.
You know, this is the very first time I've ever done this, like, started a live.
You've ever started a... This is
I've
your
never
first...
done it. Yeah. Back.
I'm so proud of you. We've
Are you
grown.
getting
Am I getting... Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
How about now?
I think that's better. Say testing. 1, 2, 3.
Test 1, 2, 3. I'm having. How do I?
Oh, are you on the computer or on your phone?
I'm on a laptop, iPad.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, what about say a couple words?
1, 2, 3, 4. Is
I
it
think
better?
that's better. Yeah, that's better.
Okay. That's better. Everyone in my I'm getting the is it working? If you're in the is it better now? If you're in the conference,
yeah, it's working.
I think it's you, Ashley.
It's me?
Well, I haven't done anything. I've taken all of my how we doing? Okay. Are we good?
Yes.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be on this with you.
Me too.
I don't, I'm not going to follow any specific format, but as you know, a lot of people ask me every day, how do I become an actor? How do I get in the game? And we started MPF with the hope that we can create opportunities for young people all over the country to be introduced to the arts in a way that they can tell their stories. And I just want you to talk about how we met so people know. First time I ever saw your face and how you rolled up on me with your mom and the whole situation. I want the people that know me to kind of know how this happened, and the people that aspire to start with a dream and end up as a lead of a show. And not only a lead of a show, but the most dynamic character by far on the show. I mean, I don't really watch tweens. I don't really watch a lot of TV, but I have watched all of the stuff, all of your stuff. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, so basically it was the first year of the Nate Parker Foundation Film Institute, and I came to the premiere actually, and that's when I met you with my mom. And
That's right.
Me and my mom were just like, oh, I'm going to be in this next year. And you were like, okay. And then I got Brian's information and I applied, and I actually didn't even email you or Brian after that. And I didn't keep in touch like I should have, but I got in on my own merit. And then I went through the festival, and you gave me all the tools, and Brian gave me all the tools, and Carrie, and I just feel like that's what empowered me to move to LA and to really like say, hey, I can do this, because so many, you guys were in there, and people. Uh-oh. Are you back?
I'm here.
Okay. It
Yeah,
did the full circle thing for me. But so many of you who were in the industry were telling me that I could reach my goals and touch the sky if I wanted to. And I just needed that belief in myself, but also that push from you guys. And it pushed me to LA. And within a year, I booked a lead of my own show. And
mm-hmm.
yeah, and I think a big thing with you, Nate, is that you always want to keep everyone moving forward with you, which I thank you for, um, because you don't want to win the Oscar by yourself. You want everyone to keep growing with you and be on that stage with you. So I thank you for that. And without you, I honestly probably wouldn't have moved to LA at all or booked this or be where I am right now.
Well, I'm glad you did. I want you to talk through the process. So, so your show, Motherland. I remember you calling me and telling me that you got it, and it was like a situation, and then
Yeah.
you were kind of waiting. You know, a lot of people think that you come to town, you do, you know, you do your thing, you wait, you get a job, and you blow up. But they really don't understand the ups and downs, the highs and lows. You know what I mean? I talk about it a lot. How, you know, work ethic, discipline, those are the things that are going to put you in a position. So when they call, you're ready to go. You know, and I remember you calling me saying, "I think I booked something. This is a situation." So for anyone out there that's thinking, you know, how is it you audition and you blow up? They don't really understand the things that you can't control. And so I kind of want you to tee up how you know, how you started to audition, getting an agent, and then how you kind of this position you were in to get this role and the ups and downs of it.
Right. Well, I started acting when I was 5, and I really did the whole LA game, I guess, starting in the 8th grade. But I've been through numerous amounts of rejections. I think that's what a lot of people don't understand is you really have to have a thick skin to do this, because I got 1,000 no's before I got this one yes. And I don't even consider myself to have blown up yet. I consider this to be just the beginning. And everyone always says, I think the second job you book is the hardest to book, because yes, you've booked this, but you have to work 20,000 times harder to get to where you want to be. And you know, I was, there are so many things that don't depend on you. I was too tall for so long, or I didn't have the parents they were trying to match me to. And you just have to realize that it has nothing to do with you on a personal level. And as long as you hone in on your craft and worked the hardest, that like outwork you always say you wanted to outwork everybody, even Denzel. As long as you do that and know in your soul that you're doing that, I feel like you're going to achieve your dreams, because no one can take that away from you. And your hard work, no one can take that away from you. So I say just to dive into the craft and know that you can do this, because if I would have given up, I wouldn't be where I am. Never give up is my thing. And just stay the path, because I feel like God has a path for all of us. And my path was bumpy and I got a lot of no's, but it has led me to this great yes. And I feel like that's opened doors for other people to get yeses, you know?
Yeah, it's really crazy hearing you talk because, you know, we were in Texas at Wiley, and
Wiley.
you have legacy there, right? Your family.
Yes, so literally my grandparents went to Wiley College, my great grandparents, my great aunts and uncles, they were on the Great Debaters team, and you filmed the Great Debaters there. Yeah, that's where we met. And I think it's so cool that everything came around full circle, because it really hit home for me, I think. And that the fact that you are working at Wiley at a HBCU is just amazing, because you could work at USC, you could work at anywhere, but you decided to be in Marshall, Texas, which I think is amazing though. So
So talk to me. What are you excited about now? I know you got Motherland. You
Yeah.
know, tell me about the show.
Yeah.
About
Well,
you finished. I finished watching the whole first season, and it's
we have
great to
two
see
more
you
episodes.
shine. But let's
Two
talk to
more
me about it.
episodes. We have two more episodes.
Okay, good.
Oh, I forgot to mention, with the casting process, it isn't all easy breezy because they actually, remember, they cast someone else before me. I tested and it was down to me.
Right.
That
Talk about that. Talk
was,
about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
me and another girl went to network testing and they actually cast her. And so I didn't book it. And I was bummed about it because I really felt it in my soul that this was my part. I even talked to you about it, Nate. And
Mm-hmm.
we have to let those roles let those roles go that we don't get so we can focus on the next one. But Freeform was like, hey, we want to have a meeting with you. And I was like, okay. They were like, hey, we picked up Motherland. I was like, oh, congrats. They were like, hey, we're recasting your role. I was like,
Wow.
what? So everything really came back full circle. And I feel like that's just a testament to what God has for you. No one can take away from you.
Right.
And so it was a bumpy road for me. At first, I didn't think I got the part, and then I got the part. So it doesn't matter. There are so many different paths that people take to get to, their successes. But I just want everyone to know that their own path is unique. And
Mm-hmm.
there's not a certain like a blueprint that you have to follow because everyone's is different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I just had to throw that in there.
No, I love it. I love it. I love it. Something you said that I think about. I remember when I came to Hollywood, my mother, it was this big role I wanted. And and I thought I was gonna get it and I didn't. And I remember my mom saying, like, babe, if something is for you, if God has something for you, there's not a demon in hell that can take it away. But if it's
Yep,
not for you, there's no amount of prayer that'll give it to you.
that'll give it
You know
to
what
you.
I mean? So just in having peace and knowing that God has laid out a plan for us based on the destination that He wants for us. I
Yep.
think especially young artists in this industry, they forget.
Mm-hmm.
They think, man, I just want to get on TV, whatever I got to do.
Yep.
Not realizing that these 1, 2, 3 jobs, this co-star, this recurring, these are all just breadcrumbs leading to a
Yep.
destination. That destination is what is important. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That destination is where the impact is, where the legacy is, and I see that in you. One of the things I want you to talk to the people listening about is confidence. I met you at 17, and I remember even then you having this confidence where you believe like this is going to happen. And when I watch on your show, I mean, your presence jumps out, whether you're addressing the whole convene, I don't know what, and all the people up,
The army and
the
everybody.
army, they're all, when all the people are up in like the honeycomb thing and they're listening,
Yeah.
all are singing, and I know what it's like to be on a set and have to give speeches,
Mm-hmm.
to a number of people, and that pressure of being like, okay, great, I have this page monologue, and they're like 150 people looking at me, and then just being
Yeah.
like, but yo, this is me, I'm ready. Where does your confidence come, and how do you maintain it, take by take, set by set, you know what I mean, through auditions with all the people around? Like, what is your process in that?
Well, I used to get very nervous going into rooms, auditioning, and I think I just realized that I can go in there and there's nothing that they can take away from me, and I've prepared and I've done everything that I possibly could
Mm-hmm.
to book this role. And if I don't book this role, it's because it's not for me. So
Mm-hmm.
I just go in there and I leave everything on the table. And honestly, I always say a prayer and I just say, like, God, please be with me in this
Mm-hmm.
room. And if this role is for me, I know if it's in your will, it will be for me.
Right.
And that's what I hold on to every time I go in a room. And all my nerves are gone, honestly.
Mm.
And I say it on set too, but with Abigail, my character, it's a whole other confidence. Like I don't know where that comes from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of like when I put on her clothes and I put on the military outfit. It's like I'm in it. I remember we were doing a stunt a stunt with our rope darts, and I didn't have the costume on, and I was practicing it. I wasn't getting the mannerisms and acting very animalistic, and the stunt coordinator was like, put her in the costume. I got in the costume and I was like, what's up? I'm the HBIC. Like, it's just, I don't know. I feel like I physically step in her shoes and I'm Abigail Bellwether. But I also feel like there are pieces of me that I bring to myself that make Abigail. And I always think that I take certain pieces away from characters and bring them into my own life. Like through the journey of the 6 months when I was filming, she's a perfectionist and she's scared of failure and she doesn't want to fail. And that's something that I found in myself. So learning with Abigail, I've learned things about myself. So I just feel like, I don't know, you just have to just open yourself up to the character and what they truly embody and allow God to guide you. I think that's my biggest thing, because I literally allowed God to guide me in every audition, every line I speak on set. Like next episode, I have a 2-page monologue. 2-page. And I saw that and I read it and I talked to our creator. I was like, Elliot, 2 pages? Like, come on, dude. But God was with me up there. And I just, every time I feel him with me. I feel him speaking the words through me. And I think that's how I get my confidence and I gain everything.
It's so important that you're saying this and that people hear it, because we get so consumed with like the mind, right? Like mentally we're gonna be ready. In my body, I'm gonna lift the gym and everything, but we don't really deal with the spirit, the spiritual side of it. I think that's really important that you're saying that. So look, I have nothing but the highest expectations of you. I know how good you are. I know how you have all of the fixings, so to speak. But where do you see yourself? You know, as a Black woman in this industry, who knows who she is, has her identity. You know, what are your goals? I mean, it's great that you have this show, but obviously, the future is yours. What does the future look like for you?
Well, I know that this is just a stepping stone for me. You know, I just graduated. I technically didn't walk, but I finished my last set of classes last night. So that was huge for me, especially dealing with press and everything with it. I think when I read this script, I was so amazed that there was a Black lead. Like I literally went to my mom and I was like, Mom, like, is this for real? Out of 3 leads, there's a Black lead. And I don't know. I feel like it's all about representation. So like I said, I feel like so many Black women in our industry have opened doors for me to even be the Black lead of my own show. So I would like to continue opening doors for other little girls so they know that they can do this too. So I love that I'm depicted as a warrior on my show, because another little Black girl can be like, oh, I can be a warrior too, you know? My dream goals, like I'd love to be like Storm or like Princess Tiana or like stuff like that. But my character actually, she turns into Storm. Plot twist. Later on in seasons, hopefully if we go seasons.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Yes. No, she can blast weather, and I don't know. I just think representation is so important, and my show also touches on like the LGBTQ representation and things of that nature. So I really love that I am a Black woman able to show other Black women and little girls that they have a voice and that they can be seen in the media and on TV as well.
That's incredible. And they're listening right now. And you're talking to someone that has 5 daughters, you know? So I know when we watch you together, I let them watch a little bit, just like, hey, Daddy knows.
Yeah. You're like, now let's press pause.
Yeah. it goes there. But what I love about in watching the show is, like you said, so often when you see black women depicted, they're either on the side or they don't have good ideas. You know, and you just crush all of those stereotypes. And you know, I think it's one of those. It's symbolic of where you're going. And when you say Storm or you say Tiana, I think that you have to claim those things in this industry, and create those opportunities. You know, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Are you writing?
I am. I
Good.
actually
Talk
am.
about that. Tell me about that.
Okay, so well, I'm a film and digital media major at Baylor. That's what I got my bachelor's of arts in. So
Hmm.
I took screenwriting classes, I took television writing classes, and I'm your biggest thing is finish it. So I'm trying to finish them. But I am writing, and I'm also writing songs. I do sing a little bit, so but I thank you.
Multi-talented.
Yes. No, but I really do want to I want to make my own films like you, and I commend you because you do such a great job of not only writing it but producing it and directing it. And I
Right.
think that's a big thing that I want to do. I really want to write and direct my own films
Hmm.
and cast myself in them. So I'm so thankful you're my mentor. I know I say
Yep.
that
I
all the
got you.
time, but
I got.
I really I think that it was literally a God thing for me to be in MPF and for us to meet and all of those things.
It's
So
incredible, and that's the thing too. It's when you decide to take on different mentees. You know, for me, as you know, I probably have 1,000 young people that have my cell phone number. You know, I have this bad habit
yeah,
of trying to help everyone. You know, but I do it because I do believe that there is not a shortage of capacity in our community. There's so many other Ashley Williamses out there that don't have the support system, don't have a program to join or access to that program, or don't have the people in their lives that can say, let me help you. So when
right,
you put that ladder down, all you can do is put it down. People have to climb. And to
right,
see in the way that you have rocketed to the top, you know, and the pace in which you're going is, it's not only exciting to me because I know your talent, but I also know that you're a person of service. So I know that there will be people that can lean on you. You know, I want you to be hosting lives for young people, talking to them about any obstacles they may have, you know, because you know, we need to cultivate each other. We
right,
just do. You know, if we want to create sustainability with respect to our people being able to have these breakthroughs that we're seeing specifically in your work. And I
right.
tell you all the time, finish it, because I can't work with anything that ain't done.
That
You
right.
come with a feature, it's like, you know, Nate or Uncle Nate, has as many of you call me.
Uncle Nate, yeah.
I finally finished the script. I'm ready. I want to be the lead. Boom, I'm coming out of whatever. I'm going on hiatus from Motherland. Then we
Right.
can work on it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm committed to you, you know, and I want to know, you know, as you're saying, that you'll be committed with others with your service. All right. Any stories you want to tell?
Stories.
Stories you want to, something you've heard, you've been like, yo, one day when I have the juice, that's the story I'm telling.
I don't I don't know if I want to tell a story, but I think I want to tell about like maybe my experience on set because
Mm-hmm.
it was my first time ever on a TV show set.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I understood how much work is put in from every department. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I think when we watch media and we watch movies, we see the actors and we're like, oh my God, they were so good.
Mm-hmm.
But we forget about the set deck and the grips and the costumes and all those things. And I
Mm-hmm.
saw how hard these people were working. Some people were going home and getting 2-3 hours of sleep. And I thought I'm over here getting 6 hours and I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying. But
Mm-hmm.
I just and being you need to be nice and
Mm-hmm.
gracious on set
Yeah.
because I find so many people just brush these people off and they're helping you make the best product possible so you can be who you are
Yeah.
and be the glorified actress and win that Oscar. So I think that was a really big learning experience for me because I never knew how many departments there were and how much work they actually do. And if you look in our sets, I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow, that was just a building and they turned it into look like this whole gas station or this whole like it's wild to me. And I don't know, I just think my big thing on set was always hanging up my clothes for the costume people instead of just leaving them around, because that was one person. She had 1 hour of sleep one day because she would have to go around and, you know, hang all these things up, and then she has to clock in each out. I don't know what they do, but it's some crazy stuff. But just, I don't know, picking up for yourself and, you know, having responsibility. And I just think always being kind, because you also never know what people are going through. You think you're having a tough time not getting any sleep trying to learn your lines, but they're having a tough time trying to make their deadlines too. So I think that was huge for me to just learn how many different departments come together to make a show, a movie, anything.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And it's great too. I think it's important to kind of revisit the writing thing and the producing, directing. No one's going to put you on but you. It really comes down to it, right? And I think that the thing that you're doing very well is you're recognizing that there's an environment, an ecosystem around that you're learning to operate in and appreciate. Because one day, I'm assuming you want to direct one day, or do you? You're going to have to know how those sets work. You're going to have to know how those people operate. Like you said, what does the grip do? You know what I mean? What does this person's hanging up my clothes? What is their life like when they leave my trailer? You know what I mean? What you're doing right now, it really speaks to compassion and empathy. But those are the things that are going to take you to the next level when you direct. You go to direct your first piece, and you get on the set and you have 100 people looking at you and saying, okay, Ashley, what now? You know, being an actor, you will have been prepared. It's like film school, you know? All right, biopics. Is there anyone you want to play? Anyone you wanted to play? Or
oh my gosh, but that's huge. I've never thought of that.
Well, start thinking, because
Well, I need to start thinking of it. Wow. Oh my gosh. No, I don't know.
Well, look, keep thinking big, because one day, you know, I don't know if it's, you know, Angela Davis or Zora Neale Hurston or whoever, but you know, anytime I'm casting things, I think of you all the time, and I'm really looking to, you know, that female biopic. Who is it going to be? Who is it going to be? You know, Elaine Brown is a very close friend, you know, the only woman to ever run Black Panther Party, and they're doing a project on her. There's so many stories. That's the thing too. It's like we have so many heroes, but we forget how many sheroes that led and followed. And I don't mean just the first one that comes to your mind, but there's so many powerful women that deserve to have their stories. Hidden Figures. Right, Taraji, Hidden Figures. I mean, and Hidden Figures, this is not just they did something on one day. This is like the best and brightest that have ever represented our people. You know, so I think it's on all of us. And for someone like you who has all of the stuff, all of that texture to find those stories that need to be told, to team up, you know what I mean? You know, so we can, you know, someone said Wilma Rudolph. That is a story that needs to be told. You know what I mean? We have to figure that out. It's on us. I'm a big believer in, you know, there's no one that's going to come to save us. You know, we have to save ourselves, and we have to cultivate each other so we're in position. You know, my hope is one day you bring me a script and say, look, I'm more passionate about this than anything I've ever done. Can you help me? And then we're having you know, a live about what it was like to play that role.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's very exciting. Anything you reading right now, or anything that you're excited about outside of the show? Any poetry, anything?
My manager, he just told me a book. It's actually like a writing book. I forgot the name of it. It's it starts with an S, and he literally said it today. I don't know if it's story or it's don't know. Forgot.
Is it called Story?
It might be called
Story. Is not Sid Field. There's a book called Story that is a writing book.
It's by a man.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll put it on my I'll post it later on my stories or something. But go ahead. You got excited about the book. Did you start reading it?
Yeah, because I really do want to, like, that's my end all be all goal, is to write and direct my own films, like you. But
Robert McKee. This story by Robert McKee. Someone just put it up. But go ahead, keep going.
No, I think that's it. That is. Yeah.
Thank you for everyone out there. We'll keep going.
He told me about that today, and I was going to get the book so I could read it. But I really do want to tell stories that don't depict us in the way society depicts us. And so I know that's NPF's main goal, but like I'm tired of seeing like slavery stories, and I'm tired of seeing the slavery stories that win us Oscars. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's like we can only win if we're a slave, or Halle Berry only won by the thing she was doing in the movie. You know what I'm saying? I want to tell stories that depict us in the light that we depict ourselves in, and it's not it doesn't just have to do with the stereotypical. A person actually for a biopic, Ruby Bridges. I was Ruby Bridges in my, I think it was my second grade. Like, it wasn't a talent show, but it was something we did. Ruby Bridges was very, very important to me. I'd love to play Ruby Bridges. I might be a little old, but maybe we can
look, hey,
do some
like,
movie magic.
All I need is an outline, and we'll start running, and we'll figure it out. So, don't say something off the cuff. I'm gonna take it and run with it. So
no, I know you will.
About it. If you're serious, we'll get together.
I am.
It out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say this. I'm gonna speak to your last comment. I think when we find our validation in ourselves, we make art for each other, then we'll be less concerned with what is Oscar worthy, so to speak. I think we have to find that place where we're not motivated by anything except our progress, our development in the work of our ancestors. When that is motivating the work that we do, then we won't have to worry about the stereotypes, because we're not checking the boxes of people that don't care about us as a people.
Right.
When people talk to me about slave films or whatever, I say, I've never heard a person in the Jewish community say there are too many movies on the Holocaust. I've never heard it. However, there are people that know they have their identity. You understand what I'm saying? They know who they are. And I think what I want for our people is for us to know who we are. People talk about reparations. They may happen, they may not. But I always say, I'm not really, if you want to give me back something, give me back my identity.
Right.
Help us figure out who we are. Let's build that bridge back to the continent. Let's reconnect the diaspora, because then we won't have to have the only story that's told in slavery, because we will know about Sundiata. We'll know about Timbuktu. You get what I'm saying? Like, when we think about, heroes, we won't just think since, 1492. We'll be able to know that we are original and go back to the beginning.
But even with Nat Turner, you didn't just make him a slave, though. Do you see what I'm saying? You told the full story. That's I think that's something that you do well with, that we need to start piggybacking on, is telling the full story and telling the full truth.
That's right.
What is the history.
That's exactly
instead of what they're trying to make it seem like it is.
That's right.
Because, like, these new history books, I've been told that they're cutting some stuff out.
Yeah, nearly all of it. But that's the reason why we started NPF, because it's about narrative, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like what they say: if you don't learn from your history, you'll be doomed to repeat it. Well, if you don't know your history, then you won't know if you're repeating it or not. You'll be in an endless loop, and we are in an endless loop. I mean, just this week we've lost how many brothers to gun violence? You know what I mean? It's like when people ask me about Nat Turner. Nat Turner to me was Braveheart, period. You know what I mean? Like, that film was super simple. I wanted to tell our people, this is what we should and should not tolerate. This is the disposition we should have toward people that try to take our bodies and try to take our freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, whether it happened, I'm actually developing a show on Hannibal Barca. And he was the Carthaginian North African that led an invasion into Rome over the Alps, right? And this is an African brother who, this is back when Africa ruled Spain. They ruled France. They ruled half the Mediterranean. Why don't we know that?
I had no idea.
Of course. So the Iberians, which were the Spanish, the Gauls, which were the French. Why don't we know that an African ruled those? Why don't we know that? Why don't we know these things that, it's all about controlling our narrative, right? If we don't find it ourselves, it's like Sankofa, right? We got to reach back, take it, and bring it back. The egg, life, right? For our people, for our young folks, It's that saying, a good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. It's like, I don't think I'm old enough to be your father, but you represent, the next generation. Right. And I don't make stuff just for you, and I don't do MPF just for you. I do it for your children too.
Right.
And now you owe someone.
Right.
Now there's a debt.
Right.
Like when you came up to me and was like, all right, I want to be a part of this program. It wasn't just, okay, great, she could do it. It's like, great, now there's an ambassador. So when I'm gone, you're at the top of the live, and another young brother or sister's on the bottom of the live.
Turning and keeping it working.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So this is what it's all about. I wanted to do this because we don't celebrate each other enough. You know what I mean? It's that thing of run as fast as you can, get to the top, and then only if you're in the top, you get celebrated, you get all the juice, you got all the heat. For people that don't know how our industry works, the people that are the hottest are the people that get the juice. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want people to know that there's a young sister out here that is mature beyond her years, that is talented remarkably, that got her degree, that did the work. You know what I mean? That has integrity. That looks out for people below her. When I talk, how many times have you talked to the young NPF students?
All the time.
So yeah. I want to celebrate you and let you know that I'm proud of you, and that any platform I have ever is a platform that you have. You know what I mean? I remember the day you got it. One of the days you got it, you came by, or you were at my house or something, and we did the video.
We did.
Right? And now you're like at the end of the season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you walking through and you slam the dude against the fireplace. I'm like, yo, she's like, she's getting it right now. So I get so proud every time I see you, and more than that, every time you open your mouth. You know what I mean? The things that you're saying. So I don't want to keep any more of your time, but if there's anything you want to say to like, other MPF students that may be listening, other students that, we get a lot of submissions, but other people that maybe want to come to the program, or just people that have nothing to do with it, but are looking to people like you, as heroes, that want a career in this. Like, just give me something inspiring, or just something, as if you're talking to them, not even me, just something for them.
I just really think that you need to hone in on your craft and trust your gut, but not only trust your gut, trust God and trust and believe God. Because I always feel like if God puts something in your brain, it means you're intended to do that. Always. That's my gut. If I pray for it, I feel like, okay, it's going to happen and God has it in my path. So just hone in on whatever craft it is. It doesn't have to be acting. It can be singing or artistry or whatever it is, but just practice, and keep working hard and work, what Nate says, outwork everyone. If you outwork everyone in the room, put you against them, who got it?
You earned it. You did your thing.
But you need to earn it, and you can't just think that it's going to be given to you. Especially, I think so many people, if they get to where I am now, I booked my first show, so many people stop here and they're like, oh, I can get this because I'm on a show. I can do this. I can do that. No, you have to work 20,000 times harder to get to where you need to be. Do not stop working ever. Like, I'm going to have to work so hard for my next job, and the next job after that. You can't stop working, because someone else, if you stop working, someone else is going to be working right underneath you and surpass you and get to where you wanted to be. Never stop working, never stop putting in the work, and never lose your drive, passion, and determination.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm happy. I'm good. Look, I have nothing else. I want to do this again, another year from now, after directing your first feature or being the lead of, whatever, we're going to do it again. But I'm good. I just wanted to share with my fans, the way, I feel about you, trying to pull you up, and you're doing your own thing now. So I appreciate you. Anything else you want to say? I don't know if you have anything for me. I think I'm good. I think we good.
Well, thank you so much. I genuinely, Nate, like, I would not have gone to LA and moved to LA without NPF and without you. I remember you literally, we were shooting the scene in the bedroom, and you came up to me and you were like, you got this. You know what you're doing. Like, you got this. Just use your tools and trust yourself. Like, that really, oh, I'm not going to cry. No. I'm a very emotional person, but
it's all right.
When you told me that I got this and I can trust myself and do this, that really gave me the confidence to go to LA and to move out there and to pursue my dreams, because I always wanted to do that. But I really believed in myself with you and the whole group of leaders and teachers that you bring down to Marshall, because it really makes us feel something. And I just want to thank you so much, because I know all of us feel this way towards you. So thank you.
Well, you're every step you take, every move you make, everything that you're doing makes it all worth it for me. I'll keep giving the time, and I will always be here for you. I'll always have your back. You're never alone in this business. You know that. You're never alone in this business. Whatever I got, you got it. All right?
Okay.
All right. Love you, sis.
Love
And,
you too.
we'll talk soon. If you need me, you know where I'm at.
I got
Hit
you.
my phone, as the young folks say. All right. Love you.
Okay.
All right.
Love you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. Man, I'm proud of her. Thank you guys for tuning in and celebrating our young sister and the work that she's doing. And yeah, looking forward to the next time. All right. Much love.